Welcome to the Grit of the Matter, where we talk about what it takes to grow through life's unexpected challenges. I'm Denise, and this podcast is built on 5 pillars: grace, resilience, intentional, trust, and thrive. These conversations are for inspiration and education only and are not substitute for medical or professional advice. Please consult your qualified provider for your personal needs. If this resonates with you, be sure to like, follow, share, and make sure to turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get to the grit of the matter.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Grit of the Matter. I think a lot of people spend more time fighting themselves than they ever even realize. Fighting their body, fighting change, fighting the fact that life does not always go the way they planned. And then after a while, that can really start to make you feel like something about you is broken. Not physically, or not just physically, but mentally too. Like maybe everybody else is handling life better, moving through things smoother or easier, adjusting to different things faster, while you're over here just trying to figure things out one day at a time. I know how that feels. Been there, done that. Probably have the t-shirt. And maybe you felt that too. Because I know I have. And I think that's the part of why I care so much about these conversations now. There have been a lot of times in my life where things did not go the way I expected them to go. A lot of physical struggles, pain, lots of pain, lots of changing and adapting for whatever reason, and a lot of trying to figure things out while still continuing to slowly move forward. And over time, when your body changes or things stop working the way that they used to, it's really easy to start believing something is wrong with you. Not just physically, but emotionally too. I think a lot of people quietly carry this feeling, the feeling of, I'm broken. And that may be because their body has changed, maybe life has changed, some kind of burnout change has happened, grief has changed them, or they just don't feel like who they used to anymore. And if you're a woman, menopause can do that to you. Totally no. And that can really mess with your identity. You start questioning who you are, what's going on, why don't I feel like I'm supposed to? But here's something that I really had to learn: different does not always mean broken. Adapting does not mean that you're failing. And changing does not mean that you have lost your value. Let that sink in for a minute, because I really want you to know that your value has not changed. There were seasons where I kept trying to force myself to be the old version of me, my younger me, the version that had different energy, had different abilities, had different expectations, definitely had different routines. And the harder I fought reality, the more frustrated I became with that because I kept measuring myself against a version of me that no longer existed. It just wasn't there anymore. So, one of the biggest mindset shifts for me was realizing maybe my life isn't supposed to look exactly the same anymore. We all know that. We age, we change, we grow, right? So maybe strength now looks different for someone. As we age, sometimes that does change. Maybe success looks different. I know success for me totally looks different now than it did 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Maybe even healing looks different for you. If healing is slower for you, that's okay. And that does not mean or make you broken. It definitely does not change that. I think people talk a lot about pushing through, but not enough people talk about adapting. And adapting is real. Adapting takes strength too. Learning your body again takes strength. Learning your limits takes strength. Adjusting your routines, boy, does that take strength. And starting over from something new takes a whole new realm of strength. And sometimes accepting where you are mentally and physically takes more strength than pretending everything is fine ever would. So, one thing that really helped me was changing the way I talk to myself, giving yourself that encouragement. So, instead of saying, "What's wrong with me?" why don't we start asking, "What do I need right now? What does my body need right now? What do I need mentally right now? How can I move forward right now?" That changes the conversation completely. Another thing that we need to realize is we need to stop punishing ourselves for having to adapt. And I think a lot of people feel guilty when they slow down, when they have to modify, when they have to rest, or when they have to change a direction. But adapting is not a weakness, it's wisdom in your body, it's listening to your body, it's knowing when that change needs to happen. And maybe the biggest thing, stop comparing your current self to your past self constantly, because that can keep you stuck in frustration and you're wanting to keep up with everything. So instead, meet yourself where you are right now, not where you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You're not that self anymore. So just move forward. Or not where somebody else is or where you thought you should be today. Meet yourself where you are today, right now. I really do believe that this is why I care so much about the work that I do. I've had a lot of people to ask me why I do what I do. It's because I know what it feels like to feel like you're behind. I know what it feels like when your body doesn't cooperate the way you want it to. I know what it feels like to have to rethink your routine. And that could be in a moment, in a day, in a week. It could happen in a second. Rethink those expectations and rebuild trust with myself or yourself. I also know how important it is for people to feel like they still belong, even when life looks different, even when it looks different from when they expected it to look. You are not broken. Please, please remember that. You are not broken. You may be learning. You may be adapting. You may even be rebuilding. And all of that matters in so many ways. So if you don't learn or listen to anything else today, please think of this. Your life may not look the way you originally planned. Your body may not feel the same as it did even 5 minutes ago. I know how that feels. Your path may have changed. You might have changed a direction, but that does not mean that your story has less value. And it does not mean that you stopped being strong. Strong is in the eye of the beholder. Keep showing up. Keep pushing. Keep doing what you need to do, even if you do it in those quiet spaces. You are not alone. We've all been there at some point. So guys, if this episode helped you today in any way, follow along on your favorite podcast platform and share it with someone that might need to hear this today. Thanks everybody for listening, and I will see you next time. See ya.
Thank you for being here today. If this episode encouraged you, please share it, leave a review, and turn on those notifications so we can continue to grow together. Remember, strength isn't about being untouched. It's about choosing who you become in the process. And wherever you are in your journey, you are not in this alone. This is the grit of the matter. So keep moving forward.